Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your reading for January 2021. To all those who are new, welcome. This is my first time doing monthly readings like this, but I am back. So welcome to all those who are new, and welcome back to all those who are returning. For each zodiac sign this month, I chose an animal from my animal medicine book. And you, Aquarius, received the hummingbird. So, which is awesome. It's cool. It's beautiful. Hummingbirds are so neat. The way they were created, different from... They're very unique from any other feather creature. They can go front, back, side, down, right. They can go in any direction. They can even fly in one spot and look still, like they're not even flapping their wings. So, this is very good energy. The hummingbird means joy. Also, it's very good for love, especially the feathers. The feathers of the hummingbird are supposed to be the most beneficial medicine for love. Yeah, so that's very, very good to know. So this is like to be or not to be. So, to be with joy or to be destroyed. So, spread joy or be destroyed is the quotes here. So, this has a lot to do with the Mayans somehow. So, the Mayans had this... Okay, this is how it's connected, because it's connected to the black sun and the fifth world. So I'll explain a little bit of that. But with the Mayans and their calendar, like, they have the first night and day and the first night. And that's supposed to be for the brother and the sister. And then the second day is time of the falcon. Now, the falcon is very powerful energy. This is telling us that we need to plan. We need to plan ahead and be very have our methodical. We want to have everything in order. We want to make sure we plan ahead. We want to make sure that we're thinking before we speak. And this is very quick thinking. So our quick thinking will get us out of something. If we don't have plans, it's good for this fast thinking, because then we don't even need to have any kind of anything. We can quick thinking. So, that's good. The Falcon also tells us to rise above the situation. Maybe look at it from a different aspect, a different view. This is rising above the challenging situation as well. So, we definitely need to strategize or calculate each move before we make it. Even though we're quick, and we definitely must take actions. It's telling us actions. So we don't want to go blindly into it, even though we can think quick and action, or like our actions are quick. Like when everybody else is panicking, y'all are like, I got it. We think we got to do this, and this. So that's good, but we don't want to go blindly into this situation. We want to strategize and make sure our next move, articulate. Focus on the details and focus on our desired results. So, and what we need to do to achieve them. So, this definitely has to do with research. So we definitely want to research. We need to find out more information about something. So back to the Mayans. So the 13 days. This has something to do with the 13 days. So 13 days. It first starts with enlightenment, remembrance, honor of our ancestors, ascension, unconditional love, awareness of co-creation, awareness of new possibilities and new beginnings, and then awakening to miracles. And after that, after we go through this, there's growth and sustenance that generates new energy. And that way we can organize and take charge of the situation. So there are like synchronicities. There are things that have been happening. Pay attention to these synchronicities. Because there's like cycles, the cycles of this manifestation. So these ancient mechanics of the Mayans calendar are now like resurfacing to help our collective consciousness see the collective heart shift to become one. So we need to come one with the universe at this time. So in order to do that, we have to open our hearts. So we have to go with an open heart and an open mind. And that's what this hummingbird does. It opens our hearts and our minds to love. To receive love and to be consciously aware that we co-create our paradise of heaven on earth here together as a whole with the universe. So we want to apply enlightenment that we receive. And as we are doing this, we are like definitely must contemplate our choices. And this is allowing for like a reaction. So once the creation of a reaction. So once we choose, there's uncertainty. There's always uncertainty with new choices, new beginnings. We don't know. It's new. So we want to remember that even though it's uncertain, we want to trust this. As we evolve, we learn to trust. And if it involves our heart's truth, we will go forward with a clear conscience. And with a clear conscience, that aligns with nature's natural cycles and natural flow. It could also be a rocky road, as creation is choosing not to be separate, but for the most part, humanity is separate. So that's what's going to make it difficult to make, because we can't change others. We can only change ourselves. So hopefully, and luckily, more of us are learning that we must live together hand in hand as one heart to align with Mother Earth, to expand and to be one with the infinite universe. So once that happens, that's like washing away the old and trusting with truth that the new is coming. So, back to these 13 days. So, to this cycle, the Mayans had this belief of the fifth world and the black sun. So their thing was a cycle, and that each god, or the god, would have to sacrifice himself in order for there to be a new world. So they realized that that when, the god sacrificed himself, and there's a story with that, the one god was going to sacrifice himself, but he was scared to jump into the fire. So the other god, the one that the people wanted, he jumped into the fire. Then the other god that was supposed to jump in, he jumped in. So then there were two suns in the sky. So it became to be too hot. So they threw a rabbit at the sun, at one of the suns, and that sun became the moon. So then that sun that was remaining was too hot, and it wasn't moving. It was just staying in one area, burning it. So they realized that humans had to sacrifice in order for the sun to become in motion. So that's when the universe is in line, when the gods and the humans are working together, sacrificing with Mother Earth. So a lot of things, this is like going back, definitely. Maybe you have to look into your family history or your ancestors. So there was another backstory, that this has to do with the hummingbird. Well, this is associated with a ghost shirt religion, which it goes back to 1869 with the Paiute tribe of Indians, and Wouldnt. Wouldnt was an elder that had these visions, and these visions were of a renewal of the earth and help for the Paiute people, as promised by their ancestors. So he went to the top of the mountain and was praying or whatever, and came back down and said that the earthquake was to swallow all the whites and their possessions would remain. Then he went up the second time. The second time, he said, all the people will get swallowed up by the earthquake, and the reds would be resurrected after a few days. So the reds are the Indians, whites are the Americans. So then the third time he went up, he said everyone who didn't believe in the prophecy was going to remain in the ground with the whites, and everyone who did would resurrect. So the original, this whole thing is so that the original people would know, well, the people would know the joys of the original world, of the old ways, and see that there's cycles and everything's created, everything's connected. There's cycles, with the birth, the destruction, the death, and the reincarnation. So this is very awakening. Very awakening. Definitely, definitely life-changing opportunities, and we have to be aware of these. Because sometimes the very thing you're looking for is going to come in an unexpected package. So you're looking for a phone, but it's going to come in this big box. And you're going to be like, oh, that's not my phone. Something like that. Also, feel that you need more quiet time to reflect, to go within, to look at these choices. Definitely need to take more time for yourself this month, Aquarius. Okay, continuing right where we left off, Aquarius. About your health. Your health, mental health, physical health. We need to pay attention to that this month. Make sure a lot of this is dancing, so maybe we need to be active. A lot about dancing, so be active. Not only that, but we also need to take some extra quiet time for ourselves, so that way we concentrate and ponder on all this mental, because there's too many emotions and feelings. So maybe someone is draining your energy, or maybe you're getting in the middle of something that doesn't even have to do with you. And that could be pulling your energy, like you're getting in the middle. You got in the middle and getting hit with a fire that's not even like crossfire. So we got to be careful of that, because that could affect our health. Not only that, be careful of our judgmental thoughts. We don't want to be judgmental at this time. We want to relax and never ever be rude. Especially the hummingbird brings joy, so any kind of rudeness or any kind of discord, the hummingbird don't like that. Spread joy or be destroyed. If the hummingbird is captured or encaged, or it dies. Like, there's no life. So freedom is the key. Also, about the falcon. Hummingbird said something about Falcon teaches us how to achieve clarity of mind, all while showing you how to share your wisdom when guiding others. So, definitely want to pay attention to our senses. What we hear, the music, make sure the content we take in is positive, because what comes in must come out. So, pay attention to what we smell. What senses bring up memories. So remember that the sweet taste of nectar, the hummingbird, that causes fertility, like that makes the flowers happy, and think of reproduction, making more flowers, making more beauty. Their feathers have magical qualities of love, bringing love and everything into it. Since we were talking about so much of the past, I have another story too for us. Maybe it's definitely time to think of, or something with the past has something to do with it. Maybe that's what we have to research about, because we're washing away the old ways, trusting with the truth. So we want to find the truth of the past. Or maybe that's what we are doing. We're doing research. The falcon also is wisdom and rising above challenging situations. It helps you focus on the desired results, and gets it. Put your energy on the passion and go get it. And remember not to go in this blindly. definitely want to plan. So, another thing, the frog in reverse. The frog in reverse is, it's on his back in the mud, and his eyes are covered with mud. There's like an unwillingness to wipe this mud from the eyes, so you want to stay blind for some reason. But we have to be careful, because that mud can become mire, and then after it becomes mire, then it becomes quicksand, and we don't want to go under. So we might not want to hear or see what's there, but we don't want to drown, so we want to definitely wipe the mud from our eyes and see truth. See it for what it really is. Also, another thing to help your health. There's this new thing that I was just talking about right during the break. And it's called acupoint tapping. It's a part of, it's an EFT. It's the emotional freedom technique. So it's to help with fear, stress, anxiety, with your memory. Supposedly there's 9 pivotal meridian points. I'm not sure where they are, but when the person was explaining it to me, they were going like this. So you're supposed to tap 5 to 7 times on one of these pivotal points, and it's supposed to redirect the body's energy, or put it in balance. Balances the energy of the body, or the mind, or wherever you tap. I don't know where you tap, but maybe you want to do some more research on this EFT. It's acupoint tapping. Another way to restore the energy, because this people or something is taking our energy. Definitely salt baths can clear energy, sage, and crystals. Right now I'm working with, we have our zebra calcite here with us today. So beautiful. It's heavy too. And it's a heart. So it's beautiful. And we have pyrites, very grounding. I do pick-up crystal readings and tell a lot about crystals. They tell a lot about what you need as far as mental, emotional, physical alignments or elements, and that helps with that, to align that. So, what else? Okay. So I think that's all for the animals. I picked some cards from my new deck. I received Materia Prima. This has each card on it represents an element from the periodic table. And they go and they tell us what we need to know. So y'all received iodine, potassium in reverse, nickel, and hassium in reverse. So we'll start with iodine. The main words for iodine is changeable, beneficial. So nourishing tales that feed our intellect and bring good fortune and purity to our disturbing wounds. So definitely we're gaining some intellect. We're gaining some knowledge here. And when we're talking about health, we're talking about nutrients. We're also talking about what we're eating too. Watch what we eat, and that it's healthy. So yeah, moral friendships. So friendships are bringing out love and passion that nourishes the bodies. Yet sends our souls in search of freedom from our minds, because our minds are racing. So potassium in reverse says that there's like a disharmony. That's why the hummingbird came up in our reading, because it brings harmony and look for beauty. It brings everything, all good energy. So that's good. And then we have nickel. Nickel's warrior strength, protection, fairness. Now this warrior, this nickel is not only a magnetic defender, like a man of the people, he's an offspring of ancient aristocracy. Through his veins there's royal blood, and it goes down with goes back to like the supernova gods like Prometheus. Prometheus was like had a secret earthly mission. He was like the god of fire. Right now he was the Titan's supreme trickster. His intellectual side, he was very, very smart. That's why his name in Greek means forethinker. So that goes along with what we were talking about earlier about thinking ahead and planning ahead. It's very important. Because here it comes up again. We want to watch these synchronicities. So, yeah, he was, created the fire and supposedly created the mortals. So, the story about that was the chief god Zeus, hid the fire from the mortals. So, he was tricked by Prometheus eating these bones and fats as a sacrifice instead of meats. And Prometheus stole the fire back and took it back to Earth. And as a punishment, Zeus, for humankind in general, he created this Pandora. And he sent Pandora to marry this Epimetheus, which means hindsight. And Prometheus tried to warn her about it, and nope. So, him about it, but nope, Pandora, they married. Pandora took its lid off. Out came the evil, and the hard work, and all death, and all these things, and craziness. But still remained hope. So, that is very important. Hope remains. So, a lot of ancient stories today. The last element we have is Hassium. Now, your Hassium was in reverse. And Hassium is located dead center in the periodic table, So, very self-centered. That's the way we must be at this time. Center ourselves. This Hassium got its name from Germany, because it's a place called Hassium, Germany. In 1984, this was created. And this is the highest melting point element. And the melting point depends on the strength of the interaction between the atoms. So this is the co-creation, working together. Very important. So, but unless you have quite a few atoms, like tens of millions, you can't calculate it. So this is important that a lot of people must be involved, or this involves a lot of details. It's not just one thing. If we're relating this to situations, so that's it, Aquarius. I know there's so much. I hope I didn't forget anything by connecting these two, but I look forward to seeing you next month.